Good afternoon. The topic is acidification of the urine and bicarbonate excretion. Now come to the renal H plus secretion. As you know, the cell of the PCT, that is proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule, secrete hydrogen ion. It is also secreted in the collecting duct, and the transporter that is responsible for H plus secretion in the proximal tubule is the NaH exchange. This is an example of the secondary active transporter, and the secreted H plus ion combine with the SCO3 minus to form H2CO3. So the H2CO3, it is formed, H2CO3 is formed with the help of the carbonic anhydrase that is present on the apical membrane of the PCT, and it catalyzes the reaction of H2O and CO2 to form H2CO3. And the 80% of the filtered load of SCO3 minus is reabsorbed in proximal tubule. The carbonic anhydrase, it is an enzyme, as you know, that drug that inhibit carbonic anhydrase depresses both secretion of acid by the proximal tubule and the reaction which depend on it. Now come to the diagram. This is the secretion of the acid by proximal tubular cell of the kidney, and there is Na plus H plus exchanger, and the H plus is secreted into the tubular lumen and sodium enter into the cell, and this H plus is formed by the CO2 and H2O combined to form H2CO3, and this H2CO3 dissociate into H plus and SCO3 minus ion. In distal tubule and collecting duct, H plus is secreted by an ATP driven proton pump, and in this aldosterone act on this pump to increase the distal H plus secretion. The eye cell that is present here act in this part of the renal tubule, secrete acid and contain abundant carbonic anhydrase enzyme and numerous tubulovesicular structure. Some of the H plus is additionally secreted by HK plus ATPase, and the eye cell also contain band 3 in the it is an anion exchanger protein in their basolateral cell membrane, and this protein function as the chloride SCO3 exchanger for the transport of bicarbonate ion to the interstitial fluid. What is the limiting pH of urine? That is, the pH is 4.5 of the urine. It means the maximum H plus gradient against which the transport mechanism can secrete in human correspond to urine pH of 4.5. That is the H plus concentration in the urine, that is 1000 times the concentration in the plasma. So it is called limiting pH of the urine, and this pH is reached in the collecting duct. Now come to the reaction with buffers. There are 3 buffers that are important for renal handling of the acid and its secretion into the lumen. One is the bicarbonate, second is the dibasic phosphate, and third is the ammonia. pK of bicarbonate system is 6.1, and that of dibasic phosphate system is 6.8, and ammonia system is 9. So In proximal tubule, most of the secreted H plus react with HCO3 minus to form H2CO3. This H2CO3 again break down to form CO2 and H2O. In the proximal tubule, there is carbonic anhydride in the brush border of the cell, and this facilitates the formation of CO2 and H2O in the tubular fluid. The CO2 which is formed, it diffuses across all the biological membrane and enter the tubular cell, where it add to the pool of CO2 to form H2CO3. Secreted H plus also react with dibasic phosphate to form monobasic phosphate, that is H2PO4 minus, and this mainly occur in the distal tubule and collecting duct. And this ammonia buffering system, it also allows secreted H plus to combine with NH3 to form NH4, and it occur in the proximal and distal both tubule. Now this is the fate of the H plus in tubule in exchange of Na plus. This is the renal tubular cell. This is the tubular lumen in which H plus react with HCO3 minus ion, and H plus also react with H2PO4, that is the dibasic phosphate, and H plus react with NH3 that form NH4. Okay, it occur either in PCT or DCT or in both, or in collecting duct also. Now come to the ammonia secretion. And in ammonia secretion, the reaction in renal tubular cell produce NH4 plus and SCO3 minus. This NH4 plus is in equilibrium with the NH3 and H plus in the cell, and because the pK of this reaction is 9, so the ratio of NH3 to NH4 plus at pH 7 is 1:100. So what happened? NH3 is lipid soluble and it diffuses down its concentration gradient into interstitial fluid and tubular urine. In urine, what happened? It react with H plus and form NH4 plus, and this NH4 remain in the urine. This is the major reaction involved in ammonia production in the kidney, and NH4 plus is in equilibrium with NH3 plus H plus, and this the reaction that produce NH4 plus in cell is conversion of glutamine to glutamate by the enzyme glutaminase, which is abundant in the renal tubular cell. And glutamic dehydrogenase, it catalyzes the conversion of glutamate to alpha ketoglutarate, and it form more NH4 plus, and this is the major reaction that produce NH4 plus in the renal tubular cell. H plus balance. pH of the arterial plasma is normally 7.4 and of venous plasma is slightly lower. So when we call acidosis, it will be called acidosis when the arterial pH is below 7.4, and it is called alkalosis when it is above 7.4. pH of ECF that are compatible with life cover is between the 7 to 7.7. So what is acidosis and what is alkalosis? Acidosis is called when pH is less than 7.4, and alkalosis is present when pH is more than 7.4. pH changes along the nephron A moderate drop in pH occur in PCT, and most of the secreted H plus has little effect on the luminal pH because it of the formation of the CO2 and H2O from H2CO3. But in distal tubule, it has less capacity to secrete H plus, so secretion in this segment has greater effect on urinary pH. This is the table that shows the H plus concentration and pH of the body fluid. You can see in this table that the pH of gastric HCl is 0.8 and maximum urine acidity, that is limiting pH, is 4.5. pH of plasma is normal is 7.4. When it is acidic it is 7. When it is alkaline it is 7.7. Pancreatic juice H pH 8. Now this is the table that shows the pH in various disorder, that is metabolic alkalosis and metabolic acidosis. And what is the defense mechanism, that is respiratory and renal compensation. In metabolic acidosis, primary disturbance is the decrease in the plasma bicarbonate ion. pH is normally less than, normally 7.4. In acidosis it is less, that is 7.2, and bicarbonate ion is also decreased. The PCO2 is 40, normally is 40, and the respiratory compensation, it means there will be hyperventilation, there will be increase in the H plus excretion, and there will be SCO3 minus or bicarbonate reabsorption. In metabolic alkalosis, there is increase in the plasma bicarbonate ion and pH increases to 7.5. The SCO3 minus ion, it increases from normal 24 to 30. PCO2, that is partial pressure of CO2, is 40, and respiratory compensation is, there is hypoventilation, it means PCO2 will increase and H plus excretion is decreased, and new SCO bicarbonate reabsorption will decrease. In respiratory acidosis, there will be the increase in the partial pressure of CO2, the pH will decrease to 7.3, and there will be increase in the bicarbonate ion, and there will be increase in the PCO2, and the defense mechanism will increase H plus excretion and increase in the bicarbonate reabsorption. What happened in respiratory alkalosis? There is decreased partial pressure of CO2, the pH will increase, and the defense mechanism is decreased bicarbonate reabsorption and decreased H plus excretion. What are the principal buffers in body fluid? In blood, there are bicarbonate ion, protein and hemoglobin. These are the principal buffer. In interstitial fluid, bicarbonate is the principal buffer, and in intracellular fluid there is protein and phosphate ion. So the principal buffer in the mainly in blood is the protein. The principal buffer in CSF and urine are bicarbonate and phosphate system. Now come to the metabolic acidosis. It is the decrease in the plasma bicarbonate ion, and it produces the low plasma pH. Causes of metabolic acidosis are addition of non-volatile acid, such as in diabetic ketoacidosis, lactic acidosis, and loss of non-volatile alkali as in diarrhea and type 2 renal tubular acidosis. The third cause is chronic renal failure. In metabolic alkalosis, there is increase in the plasma bicarbonate and it produces high plasma pH. Causes of this are ingestion of antacid is if there is a volume contraction as in hemorrhage and thiazide diuretic, loss of H plus as in vomiting and hyperaldosteronism. Respiratory acidosis, there is increase in the partial pressure of CO2 and it causes the low blood pH. Causes of respiratory acidosis are drug induced, which causes depression of the respiratory center as in opiate, sedative and anesthetics, weakening of the respiratory muscle as in Guillain-Barré syndrome, polio, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis and multiple sclerosis, airway obstruction and impaired gas diffusion. Respiratory alkalosis, it is due to decreased partial pressure of CO2 and there is increase in the plasma pH. Causes of respiratory alkalosis are pneumonia, high altitude, hyperventilation, it means psychogenic hyperventilation and salicylate intoxication. What is Sigurd-Andersen curve nomogram? It is used to plot the acid-base characteristics of arterial blood and it is helpful in the clinical situation. This nomogram has PCO2 plotted on log scale on the vertical axis and pH on the horizontal axis. Any point on the left of the vertical line through pH 7.4 indicate acidosis and any point to the right indicate alkalosis. Position of point above or below horizontal line through PCO2 40 mmHg define effective degree of hypoventilation or hyperventilation. This is the Sigurd-Andersen curve nomogram. You can see on vertical line there is partial pressure of CO2 in mmHg and on horizontal line it is pH. So the PCO2 is plotted on vertical axis and pH on horizontal axis. Any point to the left of vertical line through pH 7.4, it is pH 7.4. If we draw a line, it indicate so to the left it indicate acidosis and to the right of the pH 7.4 it indicate alkalosis. Similarly, the point of the position of the point above or below the, suppose it is horizontal line at the PCO2 40, the point A define the, if it is above 40 mmHg it define acidosis and if it is below it define alkalosis or hypoventilation or hyperventilation. So this is all about the acidification of the urine. Thank you.